Good morning, everybody. I don't know if you know this already, but we had trouble with Zoom on Thursday morning. It is Thursday morning as I'm recording this, and I decided I would just record what would be the lecture, the chatty time. Since a lot of you guys aren't even necessarily using the chat anyway, I'll let you guys write comments underneath this video. If you have questions for me, or if you want to talk about it more, that's totally fine. So for today, we're finally done with iReady. Yes. Woo! I'm very excited about that. Hopefully you're also excited to no longer be doing a test. If you still have to finish that test, I would go ahead and give it a try right now before I have to schedule a time for you to go do it with somebody else. So if you haven't finished iReady and you know how to get into iReady, go ahead and finish it up while you still have a chance. That's the first thing. The second thing is you should have read a book yesterday. Or if you see this on Friday, you should have read a book on Wednesday. Don't think of that as like a mean thing, like if you didn't read the book, you're in trouble. Like, more importantly, I want you to actually get into a book and read a book and like the book. That's what matters to me. So try and find a book. Take some time to do that. I've gotten into one book called Irresistible, which is all about like how technology is made to be really irresistible, hard to let go. And then I got into another book called Everything is Spiritual, which is a really cool book about like how big the world is and how connected everything is. Both of those were really fun books for me. And I want to share that love with you. And I want you guys to get into it. I also have been reading through The Marauders, which is a series of X-Men comics that came out. Super cool. If you've got manga suggestions, I've read through a bunch of manga in the past, but I'm just kind of in a manga drought. So if you've got anything like that, let me know in the comments on Google Classroom. This sounds like a YouTube video, but it is not. Welcome to Google Classroom. Like and subscribe. Ugh. Okay, so with that, today was going to be a new day where we introduced you to a new thing that's actually an old thing, which is Study Sync. Or if you've done it before, you know Study Stink. That's what I call it because it's really difficult to get on and a lot of people struggle with it. We're going to find a way to do it that is fun, okay? So let me walk you through that by first sharing my screen with you just like it was a normal day. Look, it's the Thursday, Friday slides. Today we're going to be talking about taking a stand and we're going to be talking about Study Stink, all right? There are two ways to get to Study Stink. You can go to your waffle. If you're wondering what your waffle is, it's this little thing. When you open up a new tab on Google, you have a little 9 dots. It looks like a waffle to some people, so they call it the waffle. Then you're going to click on the picture of the mountains that says McGraw-Hill. I guess those are mesas. I don't know. You have to scroll down a little ways once you click on the waffle. It's not the very first thing. So scroll down a little ways till you find the McGraw-Hill. If you click on it, it works just fine. It will take you to Study Sync. Other way to do it is go to bit.ly/StudySyncIHS, and that will also take you there, okay? Don't just go to Study Sync. Use the bit.ly. I'm going to post the bit.ly with this video so you'll know how to get there. You're going to complete the Taking a Stand blast, and I'll walk you through it for just a second, all right? Here's what a blast is. You read the article, you write a short tweet-length response to the article, you answer the poll question, and then you review other people. All right, let me actually show you what that looks like. So I'm going to go to Study Sync. Ooh, I almost did the bad. I'm going to go to the waffle. Look at that waffle right there. I'm going to scroll down until I see McGraw-Hill. All right, that's one way to do it. Here's my other way to do it. bit.ly. You can see I already did this for La Quinta. Study Sync IHS. Does it work? Boom, magic. Once you're here, you're going to click on this. You're going to have these 4 dots. One of them's orange. Always click on that picture. You might try to click here. It won't work. You might try to click here. It won't work. But if you click on the picture, it will work. And it will take you to a page that looks kind of like this. All right? For me, I'm Mr. Jackson, so it says, welcome back, Mr. Jackson. For you, it will say, welcome back, whoever you are, right? Lovely and amazing student. And then you're going to see a picture that says taking a stand, all right? This is from my recently viewed, but I'll show you what it looks like for you, all right? Whoops. You're going to click on taking a stand, that picture, and it's going to pop up with something that looks like this. All right? This is the article I'm talking about. You're going to be reading this article, okay? And down here, where it says research links, that's more stuff that you can read if you want to get more information about it, but you don't have to. It's super awesome when you guys like something and you want to know more. That's a great way. You can use that as your leisure reading, as the reading that you do for fun. So as we're reading this, this is talking about Pakistan. It's talking about the Ukraine, Tunisia, Egypt. It's talking about a thing that happened called the Arab Spring. So a lot of people who protested, a lot of people who rose up against the rules and tried to challenge the rules. So I asked you guys in the attendance assignment for today, what's one rule that you wish you could make or break? What's one thing that you wish you could make legal or illegal? And how do you think that that would change the world? My example that I gave was, I think it's really good if we could just make it legal for everyone to own goats everywhere. Goats are adorable. They're lovely little pets. More goats should exist. I should be able to have a goat in my backyard, but I'm not sure if Palm Desert lets me do that. So I'm not sure if where I live allows me to own goats. If I could make it legal, then I would do that. I wanted you to think about who gets to make the rules. Who gets to set what it means to be a good student? Remember, we talked about that. Who gets to determine what it means to be a good person? Who gets to determine what is criminal and what is not? Oftentimes, we think that those are just rules, right? If I say, hey, don't murder somebody, for the most part, everyone around me agrees. Yeah, don't murder because you might choose to murder me, and I don't want you to murder me, so just don't murder. And we all agree on the rules. However, somebody had to make the rules in the first place. There might be some places where we say, no, it's okay to murder. In fact, we have rules of war where we've decided when it's okay to kill somebody. We also have some places where there's a death penalty, which says it's okay to kill people in this context. So who gets to make the rules of when murder is okay, when murder is murder, and what it means to break the law? Give you a hint, it's not 10th graders. It's not high schoolers. So the people who are making these laws don't always have the same definition of good as you do. And sometimes people make laws purposefully to target other people. Here's an example. In Florida, just recently, they got rid of a law that said it was illegal. You could get thrown in jail for having saggy pants. Saggy pants. Now, do you think that they made that law because they were like, Mr. Jackson walks around too much with saggy pants and I don't want to see his butt? No. They made that law because a group of young black men in that community were sagging their pants as part of that trend. And they knew that if they outlawed sagging pants, they could arrest more people that were like that. Is that law just? Should you obey that law? At what point is it okay to break the law? That's what we're starting with this whole conversation. So I want you guys to answer that question. You're also going to answer this poll, all right? So somebody already answered this in my example, but it shows 100% of people all agree that petition those who can change the rules. You're going to answer it based off of what you think. I'm not asking you to do any of the annotating or anything like that. Just write your thing here. This says when submitted. Sorry, I'm going to show it when it's signed. You're going to write your answer here, and you're going to click an answer here, and then click submit. That's all I'm asking for you. After that, you have the ability to review other people. You're going to see other people's responses pop up here, and you can give them a 1 to 5 star rating. I can see who did that, but you can't see who did it for you. Does that make sense? It's anonymous, but teacher knows. So if you write something like, you're trash and you should go hurt yourself, guess what? You're going to be talking to somebody in the office. You're going to be talking to me. It's going to be a whole big thing. Here's what I want. I want positive feedback, positive constructive criticism. Mr. Jackson, what the heck does that mean? Don't ask yourself why theirs sucks. Ask yourself, what do you like about theirs, and how can you get more of it? If you like that they made a funny joke, write, I like that you made a funny joke. I wonder how I could get more information while you're making those types of jokes, right? So that's the sentence frame that I gave you, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So back here, read the article, review other people, at least 5 people. If anything less than 4 stars, you must write constructive criticism. Let's talk about that more. I gave you guys in the slides, which you can look at on Google Classroom, the first one. Here's a sentence frame. Start with a positive. I enjoyed blank, or I understood blank. If somebody says something that you completely disagree with, you can still say, I understand what you mean when you say criminals should be punished. However, I would like more of an explanation of how you think that person's a criminal. End with something positive. So if you blank, this could be a great response. If you included a little bit more here, it would be a great response. Keep it up, right? I'm not saying you're trash. I'm not saying don't write this. I'm not putting bruh in the comments. That does not count as constructive criticism. This is what I'm looking for constructive criticism. I've given you guys sentence frames to use, okay? When offering constructive criticism, don't think of what is missing or why something sucked. Think about it as what you like and what you want more of. I really liked blank. It would be cool if you blank, right? I really liked the way you said this. It would be cool if you did this. So always think of something that is good about the post, all right? Now, we're going to complete the blast, taking a stand. You have till the end of the weekend to do that. Don't worry, all right? We get into the good stuff. If you're still watching this video, give yourself a pat on the back, stand up, walk around in a circle, take a breath. You've watched a very long video. Be proud of yourself. Now we're moving on to the next thing. From an Old English Germanic term, where does the term taking a stand come from? What does that stand mean? I am currently standing, right? I am not in my chair like I was at the rest of this week. I'm in a standing desk. What does that mean? And when we ask what does it mean, the weirdest thing about language is that we don't just ask what it means when I make that sound at you. I say, what does it mean when we've made that sound for the past thousands of years? For as long as this English language has existed, 700 years ago, people used this type of word. They made this sound at each other. They said standen. What the heck did that mean? And why do we still make that sound at each other now? And what does it represent? It was an Old English term. In the 1300s, standen meant to exist. Just to exist. How did we get from to exist to get off your lazy butt and stand? How does that make sense? What does it mean to exist? I think that that's at the heart of this. Because when somebody's laying there doing nothing, do they exist? Well, yeah, Mr. Jackson. I mean, they're still a human being. They're breathing, right? They're living. They're still existing. What does that mean to really exist? When I get to the core of it, I'm not just saying, hey, man, good job living. I want you to exist. I want you to like really live. If you only exist digitally, if you only exist in a room with no one else, if you only exist in your own head, do you really exist? If you're only there laying on the couch, sitting there surfing the web every day, and nobody else comes into your room, how do I know you exist? If a tree falls in the forest and it doesn't make a sound, how do I know that it fell? How do I know that anything else outside of this world that I see exists? Because of the effects that it has. The thing is, I know that there is light on behind me because I see the effects of the light in front of me. I know that there is a sun because I see a shadow. It has an effect. So I'm not staring at the sun right now, but as I look out the window, I know that the sun exists. I know that the sun exists because its effect on the world. When I talk about taking a stand, I don't just mean standing up. I mean taking a moment to affect the world. What does it mean to stand on? It means to exist. And if it means to exist, existing means impacting change in your environment. If you're just standing there, are you taking a stand? If you're just laying there, are you taking a stand? Existing, standen, means impacting or changing your environment. Here's some English math, all right? If you guys like math better. If A equals B and B equals C, A equals C. If stand equals exist and exist equals change, therefore, taking a stand means making a change. When I talk about making a change in the world, I'm talking about taking a stand, right? So when I hear of a law that's unjust, when I hear of a law that hurts people, when I hear of rules that are in place that are not for the good of everybody, I have to take a stand. There was this really kind of scary study that came out that said 80% of people could agree on a policy change, on a law that we all want to see. 80% of people. And oftentimes this is the case with something simple like climate change. Hey, do you want to make sure that we're always recycling stuff? 80% of the people are like, yes, absolutely. But if that law isn't supported by money, a significant amount of money, then it won't get passed. So if you, your friends, everybody at the school all say, I want to take a stand on this subject, but then Walmart and Amazon and Target come by and they're like, too bad. We live in a world where Amazon, Target, and Walmart will get their way. I don't think that that's right. And I don't think that you think that that's right. As much as Target might have some cool clothes, Amazon might have some cheap stuff, and Walmart might have everything you need to live, it doesn't change the fact that that isn't the world you want to live in. You didn't get a say. And if you didn't get a say, if you didn't make a change, did you really exist? Did you really take a stand? That's what we're starting off with this week. That's what we're starting off with for the rest of the quarter. We're going to be talking about this for 5 more weeks. However, to get started, what I want you to do is make a change in your life. Here's the reprogramming assignment for the week. Go to the settings in your phone. Turn off all of the notifications. Screenshot that all your notifications are off. Here's one way to do that. If you have an iPhone, you're going to click the power button and the volume up button. If you have an Android, you can do that in another way. If you don't have a phone, bravo. You're living a good life. Spend the entire weekend with notifications turned off. If you don't have a phone, grab a pencil and paper. Write down one thing that you changed that day. That's all I ask. And at the end of the week, and at the end of the weekend, you're going to take a picture of that paper and you're going to upload it to Google. All right? You can do that with your webcam on your Google Chromebook. All right? So if you don't have access to your phone, or if you're just not willing to turn off notifications because I guess you're weak like that, I don't know, then go ahead, write down something that you changed that week, that day. So if you did like, hey, I'm going to drink more water. All right, you drank 3 cups of water that day, you made a change. I'm going to make sure I walk my pups. You walked your dog that day, that made a change. All right? With that being said, I want you all to have a good weekend. You are loved. You have friends, family, and teachers that all care about you. I care about you. I'm sad that we didn't get a chance to actually talk in person for me to say that. You are seen. I've been noticing the assignments come in. I've been seeing where you're at, and I'm happy that you're here and participating. I've got to actually talk to some of you guys this past week. Some of you guys had your cameras on that didn't before. That made me so happy. Some of you guys started talking with your microphone more than you did before, and that made me so happy. Your best days are ahead of you. If this week sucked, yeah, we all took the iReady assessment. I know it sucked. We're going to move on to next week, and it's going to be a little bit better. if today was the best day of your life because Zoom was down, just know that tomorrow could be even better. I hope that all of your days are better, because I think hope is the most important thing that you can have. Now that we are done, here's the most important thing. You've made it to the very end. If you want an A in the class, you need to do the journal assignment. It is the 100-point journal assignment. If you do the 100-point journal assignment, you get 100 points. How many points is 100 points? Well, let me tell you, every one of your attendance assignments is worth 1 point. So if you've fallen behind and you're like, Mr. Jackson, how do I get out of this hole? What the heck am I supposed to do? Do the journal assignment. If you're feeling like you're doing good, everything's all right, do the journal assignment. Go to Google Classroom. It's there. It says the 100-point journal assignment, and it says this is the most important assignment. It should be very clear. If you have any questions, it's going to make a copy of the document for you. You just write 400 words, all right? That being said, you made it to the end. Stand up. Give yourself a pat on the back. Go get some water. Go to the bathroom, and, you know, get off your phone. Get off your computer. Live a life and exist. I'm very proud of you guys. Have a good weekend.